So, you clicked on this video, but what are you doing here? Let me explain. My name's Kobe, and today I'm gonna be explaining to you how you can work and go to school at the same time. That doesn't sound that hard when I say it out loud. Video's over. Okay, no, but for real, it's not hard, definitely not, but I'm gonna share with you my ideas that make your life easier, make my life easier, but I had to figure it out on my own. Or I probably Googled it, honestly, but I'm gonna re-share with you these ideas that I learned myself. So, the introduction on my iPad thing here says, I'm gonna talk to you about how I live in Canada, I can pay for my school. Why am I doing that? I can pay for my own school as I go along in university, and I'm very thankful for that. And if you can't do that, well, maybe you can get some of your school paid for as you go along. So I'm gonna be straight honest with you. Sometimes I feel like maybe I shouldn't work and go to school, and maybe you shouldn't. That would be a fair point. Maybe I shouldn't either. But I'd like to say that sometimes it can be scary. But just because it is doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. It's not a good reason. So, although it can be quite daunting at times, it's very doable. I'm gonna tell you how. I work like 20 to 25 hours a week. That's like one day of the whole week. I'm at the Dairy Queen serving up the dip cone, you know? And then like I'm in 2 classes right now, and I'm working 30 hours now, okay? But I'm gonna tell you right now, 20 to 25 hours plus 4 classes is so doable. It's not easy. It's not easy. We're gonna be clear. You could get burnt out if you choose the wrong classes and stuff, but it's doable, and I'm gonna give you my tips on how you can accomplish it yourself. Just to be clear, although I do 25 hours a week and 4 classes, that doesn't mean that's what you need to do. You could do lots of other. I think mine's pretty basic, pretty average person stuff. I'm a pretty average person, but you could do less, you could do more. I wouldn't recommend more unless you want to burn out, but you could want to burn out. I don't know why, but you could. Okay, so let's get into the first point. The first point is you should be organized, buddy. Buddy, you're my buddy now. So, you should be organized. What I do, I use the Notion. I use the app Notion. I keep myself a nice little calendar. So on my calendar, oh, it's in that view. I'm gonna change that to that one. No, wait 1 sec, bro. Oh, calendar. There we go. I was looking at the wrong thing. On the calendar, it tells me what I'm gonna do that day, what I'm gonna do that week. I'm making stupid voice. What I'm gonna do. So the calendar gives you a broad overview of like your stuff, what you need to do, and I recommend at the start of every single semester, when you get every new work schedule, you go to your calendar, you write down when you're working, when those deadlines are, when the tests are. You know, it's totally up to you. You could write like quizzes and stuff. I don't write that. I just leave it for the to-do list. Now let's get next into that part. Here, my friend. Paper. You don't need to use paper. You could use whatever. You could use your phone. You could use an app. To-do lists are the secret to life, they say. Who's they? They's me. So, to-do lists will tell you what you need to do on a given day. Oh no, let's not do that. What you need to do on a given day, how much stuff you need to do. You can just tell by how long the line is. Although one task can be way longer than another. But I recommend you use a daily to-do list to figure out what you need to do every day. And then you also do like a weekly to-do list based off your calendar, but maybe you don't even need to do that. And I recommend you keep to-do lists for like all your projects, assignments, and kind of stuff. Not for like a quiz or something. That's just stupid. Maybe a test. Reviewing, studying for a test. Just do a to-do list, be like, I gotta do this chapter, done. That one, done. And the idea of just being satisfied when you cross out the thing, check off that box. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Helps you feel like you're doing something, and it just makes the process a lot easier. You know what you got to do. You don't got to think about that later. So when you're planning, make to-do lists. Yeah, do that every day, every project. Now let's talk about to-do list on the calendar as a combo. So the to-do list it's not the same as your calendar. Your calendar is going to tell you when the deadlines are and stuff. To-do list is going to tell you what to do. And you're going to have to look at your calendar to make your to-do list. To make your to-do list, you're going to be like, what's on the calendar? Oh, that's almost coming up. I got to start doing stuff for that. And make a plan for all your assignments and stuff with the to-do list. Thank you. Okay. Oh, I gotta wake up. Oh wait, I already was awake. Okay, now that we're done with that to-do list BS, let's get into the fun part. So, I bring you to my bed. That doesn't sound right. To tell you that sleep is hella important. We gotta get some sleep if we want to get stuff done. So we're gonna need solid 8 hours-ish, 7 hours, 9 hours. I say don't do over 10, don't do under 7. If you underdo it, get that coffee going, but you can't do that in the long term. It's not gonna work out. I've tried. You might be crazy, you might be able to, but no bueno. Your grades will suffer, your tiredness will suffer. And then also, I'm gonna explain why you shouldn't get too much sleep. My total opinion, you might want too much sleep. It might work. So when I sleep 11 hours or more, I wake up 11 a.m. I'm like, oh yo, that sleep, that was some good sleep. But then I go up, I'm like, start my day, eat breakfast, and I'm like, should I eat breakfast? Should I eat lunch? No, okay, that's not the point. My point is, you're not gonna be as productive in your day when you don't get the sleep. So make sure you be like me and you get like 8 hours, 7 hours, 9 hours sleep every day. Yeah, that's what I recommend. Let's get on to the next part of whoever I am explaining to you what to do. Next part. So on our agenda, the next part here is what you're on right now. The screen, and time, okay? So a lot of my time I spend on the screen, on my phone. I'm on like YouTube, watching my YouTube video, my own YouTube. No, I'm just kidding, I'm not. So, it's like the social media of the time. You're wasting your time. You're not wasting your time all the time though. I'll get into that later. Make sure you don't go on your phone too much. Limit that time, and yeah, make sure you're using your screen time effective. Don't go on your screen phone 1 hour before sleep. I heard that helps. I don't do that, but I recommend it. So, make sure you don't go on your phone too much. Okay, so what does this dumbass have to say now? Well, I got you, fam. People say fam in 2020. This is a notebook. So, on the note of a notebook, I'm gonna explain to you study habits. Now, I have 2 principles I follow when it comes to study habits. Now, there's something called productivity. Productivity composes what I would say 2 things. You got efficiency. That's like, how fast can you rip this paper, right? That's efficiency. But then we're gonna be like, oh, but you can't just be efficient. You need to be effective. So you need to, not only do you need to rip the paper, you need to rip the paper perfectly in half so you have a better impact on whatever you're doing. Well, that I screwed up, but that's beside the point. Effectiveness is important. You can't just study. Let's relate this to school, because we're talking about school. You can't just study for 4 hours, reading your thing, and be like, oh, I don't remember anything. You gotta make sure you come up with those strategies that make you remember. What I do, I take notes when I'm doing the reading, when I'm in lecture. I attend lecture, I do reading. I'm crazy. No one does that. But what I've just come up with, whatever works for you, make sure it's effective. Effectiveness is even more important than efficiency, I'd say. Because, of course, you can always have more time. Well, unless you're, don't procrastinate, boys and girls. Why would a girl watch this? Why would a guy watch this? But that's beside, okay. So just be efficient, get stuff done as fast as you can, but make sure you're also effective. Make sure it's worthwhile. If you're not effective enough and you're super efficient, well then that's not good. You're gonna be like, yeah, I did the reading, but you probably didn't, you probably read the headings. So Make sure you're both of those. Now we're gonna go back to planning and organizing. Something that I'm not great at, but when you're in a jam, I'm telling you, the to-do list, it's gonna save you. When you have a deadline the next day and you're crossing stuff off, it will be worth it. So when you're in a jam, use those to-do lists. So let's get into this next point. It again has to do with my favorite, the to-do list. So when you're writing out your to-do list and you're like, okay, so we gotta eat pizza, right? Next thing you know, we gotta cook some nachos. I don't know why you ate pizza, but that's besides the point. So I could go and be like, okay, when I eat the pizza, I need to make sure I take 5 bites, and then I eat the crust, and then I finish the rest of the pizza. Well, if I write that down, that's just like, why did you write that? Like, you know you're gonna do that anyway. That's how I eat pizza. I know that. That's not how I eat pizza, but that's like a part of me. I don't need to do that. So don't micromanage. Don't get too in depth. When you're doing those to-do lists, make sure you don't include too many details. That's all I gotta say. Okay, I'm over here. Why am I over here? So I just want to tell you, it's very important you don't overdo yourself. Make sure you rest, not just sleep. Like you gotta go on your phone sometimes. Check out the Instagram, check out the Snap, check out the TikTok. I don't have TikTok. Tell me why I should down. No, don't tell me. I don't want it down. So make sure that you take time for rest. You can't talk forever without taking a drink of water. You sometimes gotta take the drink of water. And one way I like to do this is like, you gotta have your hobbies. So what I do, normally I have a golf ball up here. I hit it somewhere. Right here. I just go and I just juggle the golf ball on the golf club like this. But I suck at that anyways. Just gotta make sure you have time for rest. Hang out with the bros, the sisters, the fam. Hang out with your friends. You know, make sure you're having a good time. Because if you overwork yourself, you're always gonna be burnt out. Well, you're gonna be burnt out, and you won't be at first. Well, okay. And that's all I have to say on that regard. Okay, well, we reached everything. I've told you all my knowledge. That's everything I know. So we're gonna review the points here. You can see my messy handwriting. You probably didn't see that, but I want to show you. So the points I went over were: gotta be organized. Use those calendar, to-do list, rip them, efficiency, effectiveness. Don't overdo it. Make sure, like, you just gotta use that time effectively. I never said that, but you just gotta make sure you use time effectively. Don't overdo yourself. Take a break, and make friends. Make friends. I think that's the most important thing you can do. Just make some friends. Build relationships. Peers, professors, TAs. TA is always the number one homie, besides your friends, of course. I recommend Notion for note-taking, organization. I'm no expert, so I'm not going to tell you what to do on that. Just like, kick it sometimes. Have some fun. Have fun with your life. Don't. School is not everything. Now, I'll tell you this much. Grades don't matter that much. The C's get the degrees. That's what I hear. You can do good in school. You can get those scholarships. But in the end, what matters is you have fun. Have fun with your friends. Have fun making stupid videos. Making recommendations to people who are probably smarter than you. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. Thanks for watching my stupid face. I'm not gonna swear because I don't think I did yet this video, and I'm gonna keep that up. And have yourself a good night, good day, good morning. Buenas noches. It's been real. I don't speak Spanish. Kobe Vlogs. Why is my hair so long? Also, make sure you take self-care. It's the most important thing. Make sure you're happy. Mental health's okay. Yeah. Have a good day. Peace it. Peace it.